The tips and tricks in Teams presentation will be the Teams presentation held in Teams, so it will be a little bit of inception here. So let's start with it. First of all, you should really make Teams. If you have the project that needs collaboration, especially when the collaboration is among the people from different teams, it is a good practice to generally make a team for this project. This team, of course, will be active only as long as the project is active. But it will be a place for you to somehow keep the communication between the teams in one place, and it also makes a place for new persons who are added to the project, which is very common during our way of working. So let's say you've made a team, you've invited some people who will be working with you, and now you are thinking about how to organize the communication, so which channels to create. It is very tempting to create a lot of channels, channels for every topic, channel for every aspect of the project, but do not do it. It doesn't work. You should keep the number of channels low as it is possible, because otherwise the communication between the people's involved in a team will be spread among a number of channels, and well, it will be very easy to get lost in it. In fact, when you make a team for a project which is small, usually the one channel, the general channel, will do. Sometimes it is also nice to have well, second or third channel for different aspects of it, but generally keep the number of channels as low as possible. When you are creating a team for a team of people that will stay with you for a longer time, for example, as a place to preserve all the documentations about well, the daily documentation, like the development team in Katowice. It's good to create a number of channels for a communication. I will show you how does it work in our environment. So I'll switch to the live presentation. Yeah, for example, we have a channel, we have teams which are connected with the daily communication within the development in Katowice, and also among the development and our support and our testers. This is the dev support KTW, which is to be used for communication between the developers and the support. And the scheme of channels that I think works quite nice is to divide this into this number of channels. So we have a general channel which is supposed to be as clean as possible, because this is the channel that doesn't bring any additional information with it. The general channel is nice to it's nice to have the general channel as a channel when you will be gathering the general documentation related to the team. I will tell it about it a little bit later. Then we have a channel which is used for alerts. So this is the priority channel that you should that one should post to only when there's something really wrong happening, and something is needing your attention. Then there is a channel for support to ask us how does it work. This is very common that we have new people in a company, and sometimes they do not know how the particular aspect of the system works. So this is the channel when they are able to ask the questions and be answered. And of course, there's a channel that gathers the information about something that does not work currently, because, well, life is life. So when our support has a problem with some functionality, they can post here and also be reacted to. This has lower priority than the other channel, of course. We also decided to have a nice to have channel, which is the place where everybody can propose some changes that will make his life easier, or fulfill his idea about what can be better in the system or in the tools he is using in his daily work. So I am personally using this one to also to create the roadmap, or to co-create the roadmap of the next steps in the development of our systems. And the last channel we have is the mud. And the mud is a little bit funny channel, because this is the channel when you can send people when they are starting to argue in an uncontrolled way on other channels. So to, well, go to the mud and fight there. Somehow this scheme maybe with some additional channels, well, depending on the situation or on the context, it's sufficient and nicely organizes the conversations and the information within the team. But for a product team, it usually is sufficient to create, well, 1 or 2 channels at most. So we created the channel. Then we have to gather the people that are involved in the project. Of course, everybody knows how to do it. There is a manage channel, manage team tab here, and you can add the members. Some of the members can have the owner privileges. When the team is not public but private, the privilege of the owner is to accept new people to the team. Once you create the channel and once you are creating the conversation here, of course the conversations are threaded. So each new conversation here creates the thread. It is very important for organization of communication here to keep this communication threaded in a proper way. So the head of the thread is a problem or some topic, and everybody who is addressing this problem or a topic should answer below the thread to not create the mess. A very important thing in replying and connecting and well, making people react to what you wrote is to call them. So to use the ampersand. I will add somebody to the team, so this would be better. I will add Maurits. So once we are in a team and somebody complains about something, and for example you notice that Maurits is a proper person to react to this, you should call out Maurits using the @ sign. In this case, he will get the special notification about the fact that it has been called. So you shouldn't assume that everybody reads every thread on every team he is involved in, because there's usually a lot of them. So if you want special attention of the guy or a group of people, you should call them using the ampersand. You can do it, of course, also with the team name. So in this case, everybody in the team will be notified. Oh, and Maurice responded. It works. Okay, let's switch to the tabs. This area of the team is usually underestimated, and it can be very powerful when used properly. Because here you can add the tabs, and these tabs will be the content of the tabs will be visible to everybody within the team. When we are creating the team that will be with you for a longer period of time, it is a good practice to create the SharePoint homepage for this team. For example, in Hubert development. Yeah, we have the tab like this, and it displays the information, the SharePoint homepage connected with the page. So this is the nice place to create the list of descriptions of the good practices, some documentations, to have the some link lists, and so on. It is very easy to create such a thing. So we can go to the general, you are pressing plus, and you are choosing SharePoint. Because yeah, you can have your own private SharePoint homepage here. You can also connect your team to the other SharePoint, which is available on the SharePoint site. And you can place as a tab either the list of documents available for the team, or you can place the home page, or you can place the news page. So let's go with the home page. This checkbox will create the information on the general channel that this has been added, so that everybody will notice it. And I created the very simple homepage for this team. And now, if I want to start creating documentation or some documents that will help us in our project, I can, for example, create the news here. There are 3 basic templates with it. I usually use the blank template, and I create the page. And then there is an interface where you can create the kind of blog post about something. So the first documentation. And you can add here the text. You can add here the images. This is a very, you can even have the stock images here. So this will be about the baguettes, where to get the best baguettes to organize the teamwork, for example. And of course, at the end of this process, you can post it, and it will be visible on your web page. Hang on, where it is. Where's the save button? Okay, this is the tip of the day. Editing this is best done not within the teams, but you can hear the icon to go to the website. So it will open this in as a web within the SharePoint, and you can see that this one has been created. Yeah, it is now visible in our on our home page. And we can post this one as a news. Yeah, so now it has been promoted to this upper part of the site, and will also be used in the news feed when you create the news tab on your team group. Here there is a default list of links that you can add, which is also helpful because usually there's some list of links to some external sources that you would like to have handy. This one, this page also allows you to create another document library. You have this one by default, but you can have the another one, the page, the link. So well, this will be the link to Microsoft, for example. It is nice to see that not only our software has bugs. Okay, we can post it. Yeah, so we posted the link, and this link automatically contains the name of the page and this description of the page when it is available. So in the news section, you can post news and links. Generally, in your SharePoint portal, you can post different things. There is even an option to post an application here, because this SharePoint is also makes it also possible to make applications here. Let's return to the Teams. When you already have your home page, you have the storage for your files that we will be sharing with your with the people you are working with. You can also add some additional things here in a tab. You can add Excel file, and this is the simplest way of organizing the table. You can add the PDF with documentation, PowerPoint with the presentation, and so on and so on. But I would like to show you two components that I'm a little bit fan of. One of them is lists, and the second of them is tasks. Lists is a component that allows you to create and show and operate on a list of things. So instead of using Excel, you can also use the list component. And this one allows you to create the list. To save the time, I will show you for example, what the list can do using our Cinema, where it is, a Cinema team. So we have here the list of imports as a list. Yeah, so this is generally the SharePoint list. You can style it a little bit here. It is searchable. You can edit it as a grid. So edit it like the Excel file. You can even relationally link it with the other list that you create in your area. You can filter this list, sort it, and so on, so on. So it's very powerful to use as an organization of something that depends on a list principle. Of course, you can also use Excel, but then you will get all the Excel related problems, like problems with styling and so on. The other component which is very handy is a component called Planner, and Planner is a component that allows you to somehow organize your project on a upper level. We're not talking about the Azure DevOps or TFS task here. We are talking about some major milestones on something. This is also handy when you would like to somehow show the status of your project to the management, because they usually do not understand what we are writing in our work items. So this is kind of you can build here the Kanban table describing management or where the project is, and relieving yourself from necessity of telling this over and over to them. You just point them to this Kanban table and say, okay, well, look at it. Here you have everything displayed. This has a number of ways it can be viewed. This is the default view, is the Kanban, but of course you can also see it as a list. As you can see, you can also assign the items here to the persons from the team. So it's a kind of quite feature complete the planning tool. You can see it as charts. And you can also see it as a calendar. Then this is this of course shows something when you start to fill in the start date and due date fields, which I didn't do here because but if you do, you will see all the status here on a calendar, and yeah, it can be also grouped in a different of ways. This one is grouped by bucket. You can group it by assigned to. You can group by progress, which I probably will show nothing here. On labels, because each of these tasks can be labeled in color. There's a number of predefined labels that you can use to somehow make it more colorful. Also, there's also the possibility to attach here just a web page. So if there's a web page that everybody is using very frequently, it can be added here. It's the website component. You can name it, and we can put the Microsoft tab here, and it will just show the Microsoft web page. As I mentioned, you can post here a document in Excel, Word, Visio, or any other file, and also other components. There's a list of third-party tabs that you are able to use. I haven't checked them. I checked some of them. Some of them look very interesting. Unfortunately, some of them also need separate license to be used. But this is a nice way to integrate things with the teams. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the creating meetings, because you will, in some moment of your life, you will be forced to create a meeting for a number of persons, and from what I notice, it's not always done well, because when you want to gather a number of people in one place, first of all, you have to make sure that everybody is available. So you can create a new Teams meeting within the calendar. There's the option here. You can, in fact, create the meeting, the webinar. The webinar is what we are holding right now, and also the live event, which is a little bit different than webinar. Webinar is more, internally focused. But let's start with the meeting. Here, of course, you have to tell what is the purpose of the meeting. You have to add the guys that you want to speak with. You may have some people that you would like to have on a meeting, but this is not very crucial. Then it's a good practice to add them as optional people. Yeah, so this will be displayed as an optional attendant. Of course, where this will be held, if this is the repeating meeting or is it just one-off meeting, on which channel it will be held. So you will be kind of making the meeting in the context of this channel, and also the location if this is the meeting that will be held partially in some physical place, like in the old times. But to be sure that everybody is available, there is a great feature here called Scheduling Assistant, and Scheduling Assistant shows you how the time of the other persons you would like to invite into meeting is organized. So if I, for example, say that Maurice is needed for this meeting, you will see that Maurice Kawoji is unavailable for this meeting because he has something else in his calendar. So if you are making the meeting with a number of persons, the puzzle you have to solve is to find out the time slot that will be available to everybody that is needed for the meeting to success. As we are running out of time, just a short two mentions. It is possible to make the kind of team without a team. So instead of creating a team just to have a conversation, the group conversation possibly taking longer, you can have the named conversation, like for example this one here. This is the conversation we are having about the issues connected with the French cinemas, and you can see that it has a title that says what it does. So each group chat that you have, you can name using this little pencil here, and then it stays with you as a conversation on a particular topic. It does not create its own team, so it doesn't have the SharePoint or other storage in a SharePoint sense. This is just an ad hoc conversation that you can use to quickly communicate. These communications are a very nice way of organizing things because they have two features here. You can mute your conversation, so it will just be there, and you will see that something is happening there, but you will not get notifications, which is important because sometimes, as you can see, this notification list will be very long. And you can of course leave this, so you can just leave this conversation and not see anything about it afterwards. Yeah, so summing up, I'll return to the presentation. So summing up, why I claim that the teams are much better than the mails in organizing your daily communication, especially when you used to receive a lot of mails. This is the perfect way to make the number of your notifications as small as possible. The team also creates a place in the sense of storage for gathering the knowledge, for gathering the documents, gathering some infos about what has been said in the conversation with the customer. You avoid having very long threads in Outlook, and which usually have the misleading titles. Because the mail thread usually starts with one topic and then mutates to the other topics. It is still one thread, and this title is completely wrong. You are avoiding this with themes. The other problem that you are avoiding is that you're avoiding the persons who are missing in the CC field in a mail. So suddenly somebody is involved in half of the thread, on 1/3 of the thread, and doesn't have the full knowledge, and this is the place where there are misunderstandings usually occur, or misinformation occur. And of course, in Teams, you have these two precious options to mute and leave. This is the luxury you do not have in Outlook. You are just having everything that goes in this mail thread because you are in CC. So this is everything that I wanted to tell you about the organization of your work and your collaboration in the Teams. Do you have any questions here? Of course, if yes, please raise your hand. Okay, looks like everything is clear, so I will stop the recording right now. And we will move to another topic. I took a little bit longer, and the topic is about, stop recording.